Hi everyone, it's Rachel Kleiman from rwcrafts.com. Today I wanted to do a flip through of my latest Disneyland mini album. So the past mini album that I did, and I will be sure to link to it, was a traveler's notebook type mini album. So I thought I would continue in the same theme. So this is a traveler's notebook from Webster's Pages. And I also want to let you know that I will talk about the supplies that I've used as I reach them in the notebook. So I really actually like the cover how it is. These stripes kind of give me a Disney vibe, so I'm going to leave it as is. And then I open the page and you will see a lot of cardstock and paper from this very old Simple Stories collection. So this is the Simple Stories Say Cheese collection, and I believe that this is the first one. They have quite a lot of collections nowadays. You can get much more embellished ones that actually have a little castle. So this is what I'm using, and all I have left are the pockets that don't fit in a traveler's notebook. So I've used quite a lot of this paper. So again, Simple Stories, this is the Say Cheese collection. And we turn the page. So this is our first day. So we drove all day from San Francisco Bay Area all the way down to Anaheim. That took about 7-ish hours. And by the time we got there, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we went straight to Disneyland. And we actually made it for the 3 o'clock Pixar Play Parade. So this is a picture of me and Matt. You can see the... is that Sully? I'm not super keen on Monsters, Inc., but that's a Monsters, Inc. person right there. And then we went straight to the teacups. So we spent our very first day, or afternoon, in Fantasyland. So here we are in front of It's a Small World, which is personally my favorite ride, but Matt's least favorite ride. But he gets over it. He knows he has to do it. And then here I am and Matt on the carousel in the middle. So I did some journaling here. It says, first stop was Fantasyland, Teacup, Small World, Mr. Toad, and the carousel. So these papers here are from an old Studio Calico paper pad. And I wanted to make sure I mention that you can use with mini albums all sorts of collections of papers, old or new. I have not been scrapbooking lately in the past, 2-3 years. So a lot of my stuff is pretty outdated, but it still certainly works. You just have to pick and through and find what works for you. You might look at this paper pad and say, there's no way that looks like Disneyland. But look, this red and white polka dots, it's in there and it works. So just look through your collections and use what you have. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy anything new. So here I did a lot of our nighttime photos. I just really, really love Disneyland at night. There's something about it that is just actually magical. So here's Main Street, USA at night. And of course the castle at night. And then me and Matt always make it a point to schedule a reservation at the Blue Bayou restaurant. If you're not familiar with Disneyland, that is the restaurant that's inside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So my whole childhood, I remember you're riding in the ride past that restaurant and you just think like, wow, that's so cool. I wish I could do that. And here we are. You just have to make reservations in time, which for us meant 2 months in advance. So make sure you make a reservation. The food is amazing. It's totally worth the experience. I highly recommend the Blue Bayou. All right, turning the page, moving on. Our second day was at California Adventure, and they just recently redid California Adventure to be, they got rid of Paradise Pier and changed it to Pixar Pier. So you'll see here a lot of new Pixar Pier items and new rides. So that was exciting for us. We hadn't been since the change. So I'll read you this was a page meant for journaling. So it says, we spent Monday at California Adventure mostly checking out the new Pixar Pier. They changed the California Screamin' Coaster to the Incredicoaster and mostly just rebranded rides to have Pixar characters on them. overall, we love the new changes. Love Disney California Adventure. And yes, you will see a continuing theme. It was really hot. It was almost 100 degrees every single day we were there. And if it wasn't 100, it was like 98 and super humid. So that was uncomfortable. But I also want to point out, I'm super excited to say that with this Traveler's Notebook, I have essentially used up the entire collection of Simple Stories, Sunshine, and Happiness. Again, this is an older collection, but it's one that I loved. And all I have left is this in the 6x6 pad. I have no embellishments left. To use up an entire collection, that means something, people, especially if you're in the scrapbook world. That's very exciting. And I'm excited to say in this Traveler's Notebook, I used up completely the Simple Stories, Sunshine, and Happiness collection, which I loved. I would buy it again if I could. So anyways, moving on, they added some new like big billboards to the boardwalk on Pixar Pier. WALL-E is a personal favorite movie of myself and my husband's. There's just something about that movie. I think, personally, you can comment if I'm wrong, that it is the most perfect love story of all Pixar movies. The next second would be Up. But Up is too depressing. I can't get past the first 5 minutes, so I haven't actually seen that movie in a really long time. Anyways, so they updated the carnival games at Pixar Pier. So now there is a WALL-E themed game. And when we saw that, I just looked at my husband and he knew it was bound to happen. There was no way he was going to get around spending money on that. So we spent the $8, $4 a person to play this game. And guess what? He won and he got me an Eve. And I was really so excited. Honestly, guys, I think that is the first like carnival game prize that my husband has ever won me, and we've been together for 14 years. It also has something to say with how cheap we are, because it's typically not our style. But I just needed to get an Eve. I love her so much. So here she is going on a ride with me, like holding her up above the palm trees. So really cute. And the collection that I used here is actually, if I can pull it out, it's a DCWV. Look at this, guys. Die Cut Shapes. And it's from Die Cuts with a View, which is a company I very happily used to design for. Now I don't, so I bought this all with my own money. But this entire stack has, these are all punch outs. So look, I punched out and used like everything from this page. All those banners, I punched them out and I used in this Traveler's Notebook. This, I believe you can buy at Joann's. I think that's where I found it from. Make sure you head to Joann's with your coupons. Don't ever pay full price at Joann's or Michael's. But I believe this one came from Joann's. So you'll also see a lot of word cutouts. And if they're like this, then they came from this Die Cuts with a View die cut stack that I love. And anything in these colors, the little confetti, the banners, that is such a Disneyland color palette. And it just worked perfectly for my Traveler's Notebook. So you'll see a lot of those scattered around as well. All right, turn in the page. So here we are at the Toy Story Midway Mania ride, which is easily both of our favorite rides, at least that we share. This is both of our #1 favorites. I added a little pocket pouch. This one, again, is from the Say Cheese collection. Like I said, I have a lot of little pockets available, but these ones are too big. But it also came with little pockets, so I just added that straight in. And I have pull out a journaling card. It was so hot, we went to the Grand Californian Hotel and just sat in the lobby for an hour to get some air conditioning. It's a gorgeous hotel. And then just with these little banners, I even included that as a journaling that we did the Cards Racer with a Fast Pass. I saved a The only fast passes that I actually printed out, because now so much you do from your phone, but I saved the fast passes, so I tucked those into my little pocket. And then this one is also one of the banners from the Die Cuts with a View stack. I finally reached a beaver score. And Matt tends to hang out in the cat score, but he'll get like up to 300,000. But this was the best for me to be in the beaver. That's quite exciting. So you can see, first time around we had a broken carriage and we were so disappointed, but they knew what to do and they let us right back on the ride. So we were able to do that. We love that ride. We love Disney California Adventure. It's just great. Here we are again. So here is the Ferris wheel. It's gone through so many name changes, I can't tell you what it's called at the moment, but there it is. They still have the swinging gondolas, which are scary as hell, you guys. They're so scary. I do not scream as much as I do on that Ferris wheel ride. So crazy. And then they changed, as I mentioned before, the roller coaster is now an Incredicoaster. And you can see here, too cheap to purchase the actual photo, but here's a screenshot of it. We're trying to high five each other, but with these giant things over our shoulder, it's pretty hard to do. All right, moving on. So again, a picture with a big billboard on the Pixar Pier. This is from the Sunshine and Happiness collection that I love so dearly. This is the Grizzly Rapids ride. If you have never been to Disney's California Adventure, you may go on this ride and you will get soaking wet, like head down to your toes. Be prepared to take your shoes off and let them air dry because you're in for a wet one. So much fun. We weren't able to get on it because since it was so hot and almost 100 degrees, the line for this ride was exceeding 7,500 minutes. So we just watched people suffer as they went through the waterfall. All right, day 3, we're back at Disneyland. And here are some of the papers. Let me see here. I used a variety of papers from this old Heidi Swapp September Skies. I really love this paper pad. But again, this one's really old. So go through your stash and see what you have. You'll also see a couple splatterings of the Studio Calico. Mostly the pink, see there, you've probably seen that one already. Is that the only one? Yep, that's the only one. So the pink ones I used from the Studio Calico. And for now, I think that's it. And then any of the ice cream themed, these are from the Simple Stories, Sunshine and Happiness collection that I love so much. This here and the Best Day Ever, all of these little trinkets here on the heart are from that Die Cuts with a View stack that I showed you earlier. So here again, it's Disneyland in the evening. Matt and I are not avid shooters. We are not at all. But when it comes to the Disneyland shooting range, we are experts. And we can get like 20 out of 20 on that gun and shoot all those cans down and all those trains down. We even shoot the saloon in the bank. So much fun. We will definitely use our quarters on that. Here's another nighttime picture you see of Adventureland. Nighttime picture of Splash Mountain. And we made it on Splash Mountain. So I love that we planned a little pose. So we're just going, but then all the guys in front of us also planned a pose. Mostly I love that guy in the middle on his cell phone. I mean, that's half the fun, right? Is posing for the pictures. So you can see a lot of brown in this page. So I use this old crepe paper 6x6. And then I also used some embellishments from this old Pink Paisley collection, Cedar Lane. So this is actually geared towards like a Thanksgiving theme, but you just pick and choose and take what you need. And like I've said so many times, just go through your collection and see what you have. Like I said, Disneyland in the evening. How magical is this? Let me see. Do you see that? That just looks like peace and magic. I love it so much. This was an evening. You can see I kind of ruined the picture. I might have to reprint it. But we would go back to our hotels during the day and just kind of chill in the air conditioning and then go back at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So here we are, PDA, which is not our thing, but when you're in Disneyland, you got to do it. So picture in front of the castle, more in front of the castle. This was our last evening there. Turning the page, here are some ride photos from Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which is such a fun ride. It's basically like an elevator drop if you haven't done it. There we go, stupid pictures. So that's always fun. So we did that twice. That was a good one. And then we have Space Mountain. I'm supposed to be yawning and looking at my watch, but clearly my watch is blocking my face. And Matt's supposed to be sleeping. So that worked out well. And then here we are on the very last day. So on our last day, we typically have to drive home for like 8 hours. So we just have enough stamina in us to go to breakfast. So we ate breakfast at the Carnation Cafe, which we always love. They have a great breakfast. Just make sure you make your reservations. And then what I'm doing, since this is a mini album of my trip, is I like to take a Disneyland guide map, and I actually did not collect a California Adventure map, but there is one in the mail. I got it off eBay for like 70 cents. So there's one in the mail. And I like to do a check of the things that we did on that particular vacation. So you can see where all the check marks are. So that's everything that we did on our trip. And I will fill that out when I get the California Adventure map. So thank you so much for watching this longer than anticipated Traveler's Notebook flip through. I love Disneyland, and we are so lucky to be annual pass holders, but this is our last trip of the year. We've made 4 trips to Disneyland this year, and in an effort to save money for a massive 15-year anniversary trip, we're gonna have to cut out Disneyland. So we did all we could to just say our goodbyes to Disneyland. It's gonna be sad, guys. I'm gonna miss it so much, but here it is, and I hope that you can make it to Disneyland sometime soon, because it's wonderful. All right, thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it all the time. Really, I do. So if you have any questions, you can email me, rwcrafts@gmail.com, visit my website, rwcrafts.com, and otherwise subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.